sorry. Just got out of Arrival.
Mm-hmm.
And holy shit.
What the hell was that? Not in a bad sense at all, but...
No. In the kind of... I want to see that again. Okay. So, what drew me to this movie more than anything was the fact that Jeremy Renner's in it.
His boy. Like...
One of my boys, next to Simon Pegg and Leo DiCaprio.
And Michael Cera.
Although
I think Leo's too successful to be a boy.
I guess so. Well, I guess none of them are technically boys, but... and also Amy Adams, who's...
I love her.
Yeah, she's very talented. Great in everything she's in, with the exception of Man of Steel and Batman vs. Superman. Terrible Lois Lane, sorry. But
never mind that. She is amazing in this.
But the only thing I've ever seen of this movie, like besides a couple TV spots, was this one review that described it as an alien invasion movie for grown-ups. And part of me said, wow, that's so pretentious, you know, what defines being grown up? But another part of me said, that actually sounds awesome.
Yeah, that's the way I interpreted it, because, like, so many alien invasion movies, they're all just about, like, action, bullets everywhere, gore fest. Well, like not necessarily gore fest, but still just action and action-packed.
Blow stuff up.
Pretty much.
There's no explosions in this movie. There really is next to no action in this movie.
There are only handfuls of gunfire, which you only hear, you don't see them.
Yeah. There's like footage of riots in the streets. What it is really is a very realistic portrayal of what it'd be like if, you know, aliens did make contact with the world.
Yes, this does feel very realistic with, like, actual protocols, safety measures, and zero room for error in misjudgment.
It's very grounded in reality, you know, the way people react, and it focuses mostly on the drama and tension behind it. You know, it doesn't do the Independence Day thing where it's like we gotta find our action hero. It's just, you know, we gotta figure out what the hell they're doing here.
So we hire our legitimately smartest people for the job.
Mm-hmm. That happens to be Amy Adams, the world's greatest translator, and Jeremy Renner,
linguistics professor.
Yep, and Jeremy Renner, who's a scientist of some kind.
Theoretical physicist.
Okay, yep. And so, with their powers combined, they have to talk to the aliens somehow.
And fully develop a form of communication in which, in a medium that's understandable, whether it be through auditory or visual. In this case, they choose visual.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, not necessarily create a bond, because... saying that, it kind of sounds a little cheeky. Oh, well, they bonded. No, they don't bond.
I've seen enough hentai to know where this is going.
Oh, you pervy bastard.
I'm sorry, I had to. The aliens are like these...
It's tentacles.
Tentacle monster things. Although there is a twist on their design towards the end. It's like something that we didn't quite get to... Man, we should just say this right away. This movie is amazing, and it is well worth checking out, even if you're not into
sci-fi.
Well, maybe if you're not into sci-fi, you wouldn't like this movie. But what I'm saying is that it is the kind of thing that needs to be experienced without any influence, any outside influence. You know, don't do it. Don't wait for reviews. Don't wait for us to spoil everything. It is really just the kind of thing that it's a genuinely surprising experience. That's the way I describe this movie.
And I say it's a surprising experience because it's like Deadpool did for the comic book genre earlier this year, this provides a different take, but a good quality different take. It is a slower picture, but not slow as in boring. Slow is in as in it builds. It has pacing.
Tension. Lots of tension.
And you actually want to hear what these people are talking about, how they're going to plan their next step.
A lot of drama.
Yep. High amount of drama. And
relatable characters.
It makes you care for even the littlest moments, which this movie definitely gets into in the very later part of it.
Yeah.
We'll get to that in a minute.
And it's like it is like a tribute to classic 50s sci-fi movies where there isn't anything but philosophy and a lot of deep questions asked. And unlike a lot of sci-fi movies today, this movie is not afraid to actually try and answer a lot of those deep philosophical questions too.
And right when we were done seeing this, I told him right away, this made me feel like I was watching Blade Runner.
Yeah.
Because, and it almost feels like the exact same scenario, except people are actually paying to see this and not letting it be a bomb like Blade Runner was. But anyway, this felt like Blade Runner because, again, it's not big action sci-fi. It's existentialism. It's analyzing your environment and asking, like, real questions that are both real in the story itself, but also real in that are feasible in the realms of reality.
Exactly. Just good stuff. I really did enjoy my time with this movie. I forgot what I was saying earlier before we went off there. Something about the aliens. Oh yeah, they're okay. So
yeah, they're designed.
The aliens are designed a little at first there was a glimmer of disappointment for me because it's like, oh, what, really? They're just like octopuses, really? But then, there's a lot of intricacies and details to these creatures. And I think the fact that they look as basic as they do, like octopuses, helps that a lot because then you are not as you're not as distracted by the creatures themselves, and you're more so focusing on what they're doing and how they're doing it, if that makes any sense.
It does.
And also, especially, it doesn't come across as cheesy.
You witness their actions rather than their appearance.
That's it. Yep, exactly. It doesn't come across as cheesy. It seems, again, fitting sort of the grounded theme of this movie. It doesn't seem like the kind of comical type aliens. And
that was also something I mentioned because whenever you think of classic sci-fi, you can give them an excuse because back in the olden days, not as much of a budget and you couldn't get as creative. Yeah. And now it's exploit CGI as much as possible. These do have a basic design, but it's not the point of the movie. Like it's not like they wait till the very end of the movie to show you what these aliens look like. And I think that might be another point of it as well. It's not. I think that might be just another sub theme of this. It never needs to be about appearance or what things look like, but how you're able to deduce what is behind said appearance.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, we know they're aliens. They came from outer space. They're in these flying half oval shape.
They are extraterrestrial creatures.
Yeah. So it really doesn't waste any time. It just gets right into it. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure people,
again, no bullshit.
Yep.
We love having no bullshit.
No bullshit, no pretentiousness. The first thing you asked me was like, did you think this movie was too far up its own ass? And I said, no. Really.
Again, mainly because of the end, which, oof.
The ending's a doozy. A real doozy. But this movie really doesn't rely on anything but itself to convey its message, its material, and just trying to tell a story in a very well done way. Oh man.
Although they're telling it in a simple way, because the way this story is told, it's just point A, setup, point B, get stuff done, and point C, conclusion.
But then things do get complicated, but you don't realize it's complicated until the end.
Mm-hmm. Because all it is essentially aliens come, military goes to Adams and Renner join on, they communicate, they get in depth, and Adams literally saves the entire day and she does it in the most simple of ways.
Yep. Well, kind of. Sort of. It's complicated.
I'm gonna let you explain that later.
Okay. This whole movie, I guess, if you wanted to describe this movie in one sentence in an overly comedic fashion that's out of place for this movie, it's basically like Chris Tucker from Rush Hour going, "Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?"
No, I can picture right now just him and Amy Adams spot, and they just splurt out the message. What the hell did you just say?
There needs to be a parody of that.
Yes.
It's like we need the best people, so we get Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker to go up there.
Oh my goodness. Not too many other movies you could think of was like, "Do you understand me?"
Mm-hmm.
And even though like almost any situation in film that involves just, "Can you understand me?" just one person who's trying to understand another in an overly like dramatic way. This movie makes that situation serious.
Yeah.
That's how well like plotted out each point is, with how they even with the setup to get inside this one ship.
Yeah, which is like a 10-minute scene.
Mm-hmm.
It's slow and it's tense because you don't know what the hell's happening.
And it does give plenty of detail, visual detail.
Yep.
And luckily, I think we might be seeing a trend with more visually told films.
Yeah.
Because we had Mad Max last year. I'm assuming Ex Machina did it.
Ex Machina, yes, similarly took an age-old idea of, like, robots and, the philosophy on, what qualifies as human and everything, and told it in an interesting way. Although the ending was a bit weird for me. Not like this movie.
But again, another visually told movie, which is so rare nowadays.
Yeah. Also with some really good effects for an indie film.
This is technically indie?
No. I'm sorry. I was talking about Ex Machina.
We're still on this. We're not getting off topic.
Okay, sorry. Although this did have some pretty good effects. The CGI was kept simple, but it worked. Nothing felt overly fake, I think.
Although the gravitas and like the weight to scenes makes it feel like a Kubrick movie. And also, and actually this made me think of 2001 a little bit. I haven't seen it fully, but
maybe the spaceships could be a reference to like the black rectangle all throughout the movie.
Okay.
That was the thing that changed humanity forever. These were the things that changed humanity forever.
Yeah, the bit on the aliens is a little confusing. It seems that they just showed up to explain the power of the mind passing through time.
Well, but I mean, there's more to it than that, because apparently something's gonna happen that we never get to see, because what was the last thing the alien said to her?
Fuck, I'm trying to remember.
We need your help 3,000 years from now.
You have a power that your weapon is your power, or whatever. Your power is your weapon.
Yes.
Use your weapon.
Yes.
And I guess it's just I don't think it's really generic. It's just the power of the mind.
Well, it's the way I describe it. Okay, see what we should probably people don't know what the hell we're talking about now. What happens is the major conflict that comes in this movie is that when the aliens mention in their language, their swirly inky circle language, what they think means weapon. And that scares everyone, obviously. It's like,
oh my god, they're going to attack us. They want to attack us.
What do you mean? You're going to attack us? Or you're going to help other people attack us? It's like, what are you talking about and everything? And Amy Adams and Brenner are trying to talk it like, well, maybe they mean a tool, or maybe they want something from us. There's a lot of ways to interpret it, but we immediately jump to, nope, violence is the only answer, because we're humanity, goddammit. We fuck shit up.
And that sort of is a bit of commentary on human nature and how easy it is.
Yeah.
How easy it is to turn to fear in the midst of,
which is one thing.
Non-certainty.
Yeah. One thing I don't like about this movie, which I think I'm really almost a little angry they don't ever bring this up, but if these aliens really were malicious, if these aliens really did want to hurt humanity,
if they wanted to go Mars attacks on us,
they could do it at any time.
Because these aliens are huge.
The fact that these aliens have their ship just hidden in plain sight, and humans walk underneath it, and they open the door and they walk in and they talk to each other face to face, doesn't that say, okay, there's nothing to be afraid of with these? Well, okay, I shouldn't say that, but I mean, they're obviously not here to cause problems. So, or at least we shouldn't assume the worst, they're going to destroy us all.
But that's what happens when you, okay, I need to recollect my thoughts. I sound like fucking word salad. I'm just
saying, if they really wanted to hurt us, they could do it whenever the hell they want, and we wouldn't be able to do a damn thing about it. But the fact that it's basically, it's the equivalent of me opening a door for you and you being like, what do you want from me?
But then again, in that situation, there is a bit of certainty. You can't hurt anybody with, slamming a door, and if you could, you just move out of the way. This still has the absence of certainty, which, with either side knowing full well, we don't know what they're capable of. All they know is that they're big aliens. They could be peaceful big aliens. They don't know either way. So I do give them props for just displaying how easy it can be for one race or one species, if they're intelligent enough, that a compromise can be made if uncertainty is left at the door, because that's what Adams's bravery shows when she just takes off her suit, and instead of just thinking about the uncertainty of what will happen to me, how will this go down, she just bends that to be able to have the ability to make contact and make communication and make progress.
Okay. So, should we try to talk about the ending?
Yeah, let's try.
All right. We said earlier this ending's a doozy, and it is. So
it just drops a ton of stuff on you.
It really does, just what the hell? So what happened? So what happens is after this whole debacle with the weapon thing, and they're trying to figure out what do they mean by this. They get a second message from the aliens, Renner and Adams, by themselves, talking to the alien face to face, right before they try to blow up the ship, and they're trying to decode this message and everything, and it's like, wait a minute, time. It's like they're mentioning time all over the place. What do they mean by that? Or is it instructions on how to travel faster than the speed of light? But then I thought, wait a minute, he rearranges it in a special way, and it's like they're talking about 1/12, because there's 12 ships all around the planet, and he's like, we need to communicate with all 12 of these things to fit the pieces of the puzzle together. They think that the aliens are trying to get them to force them to work together, make humanity more peaceful. And that's, it's just a theory, but they think it's the best they got, and that's a better alternative than turning to global war, because China is like got their battleships and tanks ready.
They're the warmongers in this, not us, not the U.S. We're peaceful.
They're ready to blow this ship out of the sky, which I think is a really stupid idea, because frankly, if these ships have for interstellar travel, they're probably immune to what's on Earth. But whatever. So basically, the Renner and Adams are like trying to stop global war in the last act. So Adams goes back up to the ship for the final time, and she actually the ship, after they try to blow it up, the ship takes off further into the sky as a way of saying, okay, we're not letting you come back in here. When she walks out to it, the ship has a personal rock that comes down that opens up for her, takes her in, and brings her back up to the ship. And now she's directly in the room with the aliens. Not whereas before they were in this big black long hallway with like a piece of glass covering barricading them. Now they're actually in the room with the aliens, and we get to see all the aliens this time. Before they look like just octopus things, but then they almost look like genies with their arms crossed and like big upper torso areas that we never saw before. So that's what I mean when I say there's a little bit of a twist on...
still clouding the entire appearance with smoke and stuff.
Yeah, but apparently that's where they're talking from too as well. And then what happens is she's like, begging them. It's like, please tell me, what are you doing here? And then they repeat to offer a weapon. And like, what weapon? It's like, your weapon. Like, what do you mean? What are you talking about? It's like, you have a weapon. Use it. And she's trying to put the pieces together in their head. And then they give one last cryptid thing is, we need your help 3,000 years from now. And then she's like, what does that mean? I don't understand. And then it just pushes her out, puts her back down, and the ship takes off. And what? And everyone's like, what the hell just happened?
Well, when they reference in the future, like, okay, this means that she can visually see through time somehow.
She turns into Dr. Manhattan.
Yeah, this is something he went on a tangent about.
Yeah. For those who haven't read the comic Watchmen, there's a character named Dr. Manhattan who is this godlike being who can see through time and space. And I mean, to the point where the past, the present, and the future are all the same to him. And that's kind of what happens with Amy Adams. She can see the past, she can see the present, she can see the future, and it all kind of intertwines with her, with what's happening in the present, with what happened in the past, with what's going to happen in the future. It's very hard to explain without actually showing you guys it, but it almost seems like time travel shenanigans, but it's not.
And before this, we're shown routinely, bits of these are shown while Adams is progressing in her storyline with the aliens. It goes to flashbacks of her with her daughter.
What we think are flashbacks. We assume they're flashbacks
because we're shown at the beginning how her daughter, how she was growing up with her daughter, memories with her daughter, right before she dies.
Yeah. and she even has like this inner monologue about how memories, she thought she knew how memories worked, but apparently not the way she remembers them. And then she says, I thought your story would begin, or I thought your story would end with the day they arrived. And then we go to where the aliens arrive. The movie ends with her saying, your story begins with the aliens arriving. And it's just like, whoa, what? And all throughout this movie, she's talking about her ex-husband, or like, and the daughter's talking about the father that left, and she can't see it anymore. And we just assume that this all happened a long time ago, and then the movie throws you for a really big fucking loop when Jeremy Renner walks in, and he's apparently the father. And there's other little quips, like she draws a picture of the two of them together, and she says, this is a TV show about mommy and daddy talking to animals.
Communicating with the aliens.
She's even making little clay figures of, like, the hectopods, the aliens. Heptapods, sorry. And it's just, what? There's little flashes to her giving entire college courses on the universal language. There's her opening up a book on the universal language saying dedicated to Hannah. It's just, wow.
This is reaching existential heights that haven't been reached in a long time.
Yes. And this is all, and not saying like this is all just a little thing at the end, like a montage to tell you everything's going to be all right. This is all happening in the midst when she's still trying to contact China to get them to stop, to not attack the ship and to prevent a global war.
This isn't its climax.
This isn't the climax. This is all happening in... It's just amazing. It really is just truly amazing and well done, and left me shocked, which isn't a feeling I felt for a long time.
I was shocked but also confused. I had to put it together a little bit near the end.
And like all good twists, it's referenced to a lot beforehand. There's all these little details that you noticed before but didn't think much of because you had nothing to go on. And then at the end, when they tell you that, all it takes is just Jeremy Renner walking into the room, and everything clicks. Well done.
Yeah, it was a little heavy to take in, but it is almost a masterpiece of storytelling. Just how they're able to fit in everything so that you can follow up to at least an understandable point of the theme they're trying to get over. Just that opening your mind and not necessarily focusing on the direct amount of time necessary. You try and explain it.
This movie answers a lot of questions about the philosophies of communication and through language and interpretation, and about what truly defines us, and ways that we perceive other people and the ways they perceive us, and the thing that gets lost in the things that get lost in translation are the most key ingredients. That might seem obvious to a lot of people. Well, no shit. But it's the way this movie asks it, and it's the way it answers it, that is just so beautiful and so well done that really, saying it here, we're really not doing this movie any favors by trying to explain it here. Which is why we said at the beginning, just go see it. I doubt you'll be disappointed.
It's a wowing. Well, I use that word like it means something. It's just like a wow experience. Like, you can't even believe that the ideas that this is creating, like, are feasible. But again, they show it in a way where it is. And I think that's also a little bit of a theme that they're trying to get off. If you're opening your mind, anything is feasible, anything is possible, and all it takes is opening. The only bad thing for me, at least, I either went into this like kind of tired. I was dozing in and out a handful of times, and I thought it felt just a tad bit long. But again, Blade Runner, where focuses more on the atmosphere and psychology rather than like big action, and that does create, honestly, a better investment within the story.
Yep. So
still very solid, but some of it is hard to pick up right on initial viewing.
Yeah. This is definitely the kind of movie that I think people would want to see twice. I want to see it twice.
I want to see it again just to make sure that I have every bit of it like down to a T, because that's how much I want to understand like everything about this. Yeah. This is one of the most interesting movies we've seen all year.
Mm-hmm. Very good. Now, going a little off topic here, I know we don't talk about this much, but we got a lot of good trailers tonight.
We did, but this is what I was kind of expecting, because fuck the new Hollywood. Everything good is just coming out in November and December.
Yeah.
Because we didn't get that much good stuff during
the summer.
We got a handful of good stuff, but not as much as last one. And even like last month in September, we didn't have too many big releases besides Deepwater Horizon and maybe fuck, what else? I can't even remember. But
Storks?
Well, Storks wasn't even that big, but
okay.
At least it was still something. But yeah, unfortunately we weren't able to see any theater releases last month, like Doctor Strange or Trolls. But
oh darn, I missed Trolls.
But yeah, the trailers that we did get here are actually pretty decent.
Yeah, with the big exception being Christmas Office Party. That one looks stupid, but we got La La Land, which is a musical with Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone, and I like musicals.
It's Crazy Stupid Love the musical.
Maybe. I don't know. It looks cool.
It does.
There was this other sci-fi movie with Chris Pratt and
Passengers.
Yes, Passengers.
That actually looks really good as well, because they're on a ship. Is it like on a straight course towards like a new planet or whatever?
I'm guessing, yeah, it's some type of passenger ship where it's interstellar travel, so obviously everyone's in cryogenic states. Well, for whatever reason,
they wake up early.
They wake up 90 years early.
90? Oh my god. I didn't hear 90.
Yeah. 90 years early. So you see in the trailer they're freaking out. They're they want to get back in, but then we find out something else is happening. We don't know what exactly. Thank God the trailer doesn't spoil everything.
Trailers are learning.
Trailers are learning a little bit, so I'm looking forward to that. I want to see more of that. But then the other trailer, an interesting trailer, because it's an M. Night Shyamalan movie, who's mostly the subject of ridicule.
Yep.
But this trailer was legitimately creepy.
Because it's dealing with a guy with
split personality. He has seven
23.
Was it 23?
Yeah, he said 23.
Oh, I thought, well, okay.
He has 23 different identities. This is what it's. I'm a psychology major. It is not multiple personality disorder. That's not the definable term. No.
Okay.
It's dissociative identity disorder.
Okay.
Because you dissociate your born identity for a new one that you have created for yourself. But yeah, 3 girls get kidnapped by one of this guy's 23.
Professor Xavier.
Yes, James McAvoy.
Yeah, Professor Xavier kidnaps 3 girls and is basically putting them through hell by going through his many different personalities. It is just, look up the trailer. It's called Split. If you haven't seen the trailer, look it up. It
It's the heightened amount of unpredictability that one would assume.
Yeah,
Because they try and use each one of his personalities to his disadvantage.
yeah. And there's even, I think the creepiest moment in this thing is when there's like a crude picture drawing of a Yeti, and it's like it zooms in on him. It's like, he's done terrible things to other people. He's gonna do them to you too. And he's like crawling in the ceiling like the xenomorph, and just, oh man, that movie has the potential to be really good or really bad.
And it could be a horror movie that we agree on for once.
Yeah. Well, we haven't seen very many horror movies together, have we?
Well, not in theaters at least. What did you think of Miss Sloane? Another like rise and fall money making story, I assume.
I actually wasn't paying attention much to that trailer, so it's hard to say.
Yeah, Jessica Chastain. I think
it looks interesting enough. And then and we're getting another new Pirates movie.
I barely paid attention during that trailer.
All I saw was some ghostly pirate figure spitting just black goo out of his
Javier
mouth.
Bardem.
He's like, "Give Jack Sparrow a message for me. Tell him death is coming." And then
he's spitting black treacle from his mouth.
Yeah. And then, of course, hits you with the comedic twist. "Could you tell him for that me, please? Please." Just, come on. Seriously, just let Jack Sparrow
find treasure.
Find treasure. Get rich. You know what would have been far more interesting than the fourth movie that we got?
I didn't see on Stranger Tides, but
okay. You know what would have been actually interesting?
What?
Is if Jack Sparrow actually did find the Fountain of Youth, and there's a massive time leap in his universe where he's been living for like 100 years, and when he comes back, the whole place is fucked, and like Captain Blackbeard is running the show.
And then just have him defeat Blackbeard and take back his crew?
Yeah.
And then sail the seas for more adventures.
Yeah. That's almost what I thought they were going to do, because we already established at the end of the third one that he's looking for the Fountain of Youth. But whatever. It's Jack Sparrow. He's turning into basically the Indiana Jones of the sea.
And it's so unfortunate because he's played by I love the first Pirates.
Yes, the first Pirates.
Jack
is
Sparrow. The first rendition of Johnny Depp as Jack Sparrow was awesome.
Yes, he could go from serious to funny and then back to serious in such.
But now he's just a fucking
fluent motion.
He's a fucking clown now.
He's just a clown. Yeah.
A clown in pirate gear.
Yeah.
And Johnny Depp is one of my favorite actors, so stop putting him through this just so he can make a paycheck.
I still tell everyone, like, just remember the way we were introduced to Jack Sparrow in the first one and how different it is from every Pirates movie after it. Don't you remember how he's on his own ship and
it's sinking?
He takes off his own hat and honors the pirates that have been hung there for him, and it's sinking, and then he comes to the dock and he's like, "Excuse me, sir, I'm going to need your name." And he's just like,
"How about I give you 3 shillings?"
Let's say 3 shillings.
And we forget the name. Welcome to port, Mr. Smith.
Just, oh man, I want to watch that movie now again. And you know my judging for movies and like their value. Yeah. If their rewatchability is high. That one is. Yes. Screw what we said in the previous to this. Just go watch Pirates. Well, no, go see this and then go home and watch Pirates. Yes. Yeah. You'll get your perfect fix, fantasy and sci-fi. Make it a good movie night. No, but this one, even though I was dozing in and out a bit for Arrival, I still definitely recommend it, but just prepare to have your brain challenged. And that's not a bad thing. Yes. It's just keep your mind, like this movie says, keep your mind open. Not in the way of like, oh, just ignore all the bad shit. No, like, I mean, really, keep your mind open because it's going to question you on shit.
it'll be good for all the futures to come because it's smart and it challenges.
It is smart. It's well done. And for anyone who says Jeremy Renner is not a very good actor, I say see this movie and tell me otherwise.
He'll also find you and gut you.
No, I'm not that psychopathic. Seriously, I have to fight people on that when they're like, Jeremy Renner, he's stupid. He doesn't do anything. It's like, what movies have you seen him in? Avengers. Okay. Hurt Locker, The Town, fucking even the Bourne Legacy, Hansel and Gretel, which is for all accounts a piece of shit movie. But he's
Witch Hunters.
But he is still so good in that movie.
He is good, but I just don't think he has like the charisma to take him like to superstardom. This movie, he does do very well.
Yes.
But I just think he needs like the primal lead role to grasp the high belt. He is capable. He is capable.
He has done it before a few times. Yeah. I mean, I'm looking forward to the next movie he's going to be in, Wild River. Something about I don't know excuse me. Who he's playing in that movie. I know it's about an FBI agent who teams up with a local game hunter who's investigating a murder at a local Indian reservation site.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I think we said enough about this. Oh, yep. By the way. Oh, and in connection with dreams and not necessarily predicting or knowing your future.
This is creepy.
Yes, okay, from all the dream sequences that Adams had, and how her times remembering her daughter were from the future. I shit you not. Last night, when I was sleeping, I literally had a dream that I was holding my current baby daughter, and I was like, wow, this is my child. And this wasn't lucid. I felt this was 100% reality. Also knowing that the mother is my most recent ex. And contemplating what we just learned from this, in that you can not necessarily see the future, but at least have an understanding of the future just through like memories. That might be a future memory for me. I have no fucking idea, but Jesus Christ, what a fucking coinky-dink.
At least now it'll be on record.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, 10, 15 years from now.
We'll see what happens.
I'll be there. Can I be the grandfather or the godfather?
No, you can't be the grandfather. You might be. Yeah, you might be the godfather.
Okay.
Well, again, we shall see.
Yeah.
Jinx.
Well,
it's freezing. We're tired.
It is pretty cold.
We want to go home.
Yeah. Going home, going to bed.
Later.
Bye.